Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And folks, you asked for it. She took a hiatus before her last appearance on the show, and we received your emails. We received your comments. We didn't receive any phone calls because you're not getting my number, you freaks out there. Anyway, and that is because, and you asked, I should say, for Daria De Lucia to return from At Hoboken Eats. Daria, how are you today?
Hello, I'm so happy to be back again.
I'm so happy to have you back.
You can't
again.
get rid of me now.
I can't. Apparently you've got like fans that are just Daria. That's the chants that I was hearing in my head. I mean, it's unbelievable. And Daria, today, you threw me for a little bit of a curveball.
We're branching out.
We are branching out.
I know.
We're going into another state today.
I know.
We're going to Long Island, which
Long Island.
LI, and we're going to be talking about Patrizia's or Patrizia's, because you know I like to make everything Italian, of Massapequa Park, and it's located at 4913 Merrick Road. Why are we going to Long Island?
Well, that's where Matt's from. So
no way.
That's where Matt's from. He's from Bethpage, but I am Jersey through and through. Meet this Long Island guy, takes me to Patrizia's, and I'm like, lock it in.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Well, you like the way she said Jersey through and through, and she meet this Long Island guy, you know? I mean, and she went to Monmouth University.
Yeah.
You can't get any more Jersey than that.
You grew up in Wayne, goes to Monmouth. Quite Jersey.
It's Jersey Shore, too,
yeah.
right or wrong?
The Jersey Shore, yeah.
And the Monmouth University are the Hawks, I believe? No.
Yes. Yes.
Am I just so good at
We're
that?
the Hawks.
They
A little
are.
shout out to Monmouth.
There you go. Exactly. You know, they'll be asking you for donations sooner or later. Anyway, so Patrizia's. Besides Matt being from Long Island and you, wanting to give him props on the show, you visit there often, or?
Yeah, so it's interesting because they have quite a few locations, and for my Jersey people, there is one in Red Bank.
Oh.
Yes.
But I want to talk about Long Island.
No, I know.
I
I had to reel it in for a second. But they have a lot. They have some in New York City as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and they, oh my God. You have to go for a birthday. That's all I'm going to say. You have to go there for some sort of event.
Up.
Is it?
It's coming.
So you got to go.
Okay.
They wave the napkins for you.
No way.
Yeah.
Like a towel at a football
You know
game?
me. I would like to be dancing on any bar, on the table. I like to get up and have a good time. Any place that's gonna
Just follow her on Hoboken
in
Eats
the
and
middle
you'll
of
see
your
it.
dinner is gonna tell you is gonna start playing a birthday song and go like, "It's your birthday," yeah, and then everyone waves their napkins and it's a great time. It's and you go, the big group of people, $59, you're getting like a 20-course meal and all the wine you could possibly drink.
Wait, $59?
59.
20-course meal?
Basically, I might be exaggerating slightly, but not by a lot.
Not by a lot. And this is available at all of their restaurants?
Yes, it's like 7 appetizers. You get
all 7?
All 7. They can walk around with their little, it's like a beautiful, I mean, it's probably just a plate, but it looks like a silver platter. Like, I'm just so happy to see the burrata ball, the artichoke oreganade, they have the calamari, the octopus, the stuff, the clams oreganade too. Like, it's just phenomenal. And then they give you like a minute, you chug some red wine, then you get...
just in a minute?
Just a couple
Do
minutes.
they time you? Is it like while they're
Ready,
waving
go.
the white towels? Go.
Ready, set, go. And then you get the pizza as well.
Oh.
Can't forget the pizza.
La
oh
pizza.
my God. And, before you forget anything, the bread. The bread. And pro tip, wait to eat the bread until you get the oil. Oh my goodness.
Oh, is it one of those places that they don't give you the oil first, you know, for the bread?
It just might be, I don't think they do it on purpose. We had an incident where it was like 20 seconds behind the bread.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 seconds. Whew.
Patricia's 20 seconds.
20
Get
seconds.
on there.
Yeah, they had to put one thing down and the other, and we ate the bread, and we're like, oh my God, you need the oil with it. It's so freaking good. And then after the appetizer course, you get the money bags.
Money bags.
Money bags.
Talk to me about the money bags.
The money bags are these beautiful little pillow pockets that look like money bags.
Right.
Filled with cheese in this...
Formaggio.
Si. In this like creamy, tomatoey brajol sauce that is just like next freaking level. We all talk about the money bags. Whenever we're going, we're like money bags. 100% money bags. We're always like, you get that prefix meal. I'd pay the $59 for the money bags themselves.
Okay, so here's my corny joke of the segment. So the money bags are money.
They are money.
There you go. I absolutely love
That
it.
was a
Corny
good
joke on
one.
the side.
That was a good one. That was a
You
good
know,
one.
I did the little swishy thing of it.
But
There you go. All right.
we're not done yet. Then you have the
Please
chicken.
continue.
Then you have the chicken that comes out, and it's with peppers. Then the steak. And then you get all of the desserts.
All right. Talk to me about the desserts.
I'm usually like 2 bottles of wine in and a little full.
She doesn't remember what the
Yeah, it's
desserts
like
were. Go on their website.
Yeah, it's like
and
tiramisu. It's like the classic Italian desserts, but tiramisu is definitely there. It's usually a lot of chocolate, which I can't.
I know.
Yeah, I don't eat chocolate. So
Still weird.
That I know. So I make up for it with all the foods before that.
All right. Well, listen, and the wine.
And the wine.
So now, ambiance-wise, we're talking about the one in Massapequa
So fun.
Park.
Yes.
And just from the pictures, because I'm not going to Long Island. Well, maybe to try Patricia's now. It looks like it has a very huge bar.
Yes, and the restaurant's massive.
Wow.
So you walk in, it's like all windows in the front. They have this huge bar on the side, and then the front room is just massive. And then there's a second room in the back.
Wow.
Also
That's
equally
like a private
massive.
party room?
Sort of, but like they just have like the long tables for like 10 people. Like it is you go to Patricia's for a party.
Wow.
Matt took me to the first time we went to Patricia's was just the two of us, and it was, I don't know which one it was. It was on Long Island, but it was a lot smaller. They still did the napkin thing, but it was, we didn't order off of the prefix menu. So like I got vodka sauce, he got a meat, and we shared a pizza.
Right.
And still, ordering off the menu, everything's still phenomenal. And it's like your classic Italian food.
But so let me ask you a question here. We mentioned that it has different locations. And usually when a restaurant is chainy, as they say, sometimes the product is not as great. But you're giving me the head nod, and you're like, no way. This is the bomb.
I've never met a Patricia's I didn't like.
Wow. Look at that. For all you at home, oh God, here comes the emails now. They're going to be like, Daria said she liked me, Daria likes everybody.
Especially
right?
Patricia's.
Exactly. Now, since it's such a large restaurant, I'm sure it gets crowded, and you
Yes.
should definitely make reservations.
You have to make reservations, especially if you're doing a large party. Our friends, after we got engaged, actually threw us this like huge, I think there was like 20-something people there. We had a big horseshoe table, and like Patricia knew that we had just got engaged, and they played the little wedding song, and the whole room was dancing.
Oh
like,
my God.
It was jam-packed, because everyone's there to party. You're going to Patricia's to have a good time,
Right.
and the whole room was up with us. When it was the next table's birthday, we were all dancing with them, walking around with our wine bottles, like, it
Wait,
was
you just
so
get
fun.
up?
Yes.
By the way, COVID, I guess, is a thing of the past.
That was last March.
Oh, okay, all right.
Or last February. So now we've been there a couple times, and even something as nice as my nephew's communion lunch was there.
Oh, cool.
So like that was a daytime thing, accommodated, large party
And the
for
food's
lunch,
great.
and it's consistent.
That's important.
No matter what time of
That's
day,
very
no
important.
matter what month I've been there, it is consistent.
Well, Daria De Lucia of at Massapequa Eats. I mean, of at Hoboken Eats, that is. Never, she said, never. But for all you folks that are watching at home, I mean, this is what Daria is doing, I think, very, very well. And I commend you for doing that. You know, of course, we have awesome restaurants here in Hoboken, but, like, sometimes you have to branch out.
Yeah. We gotta enlighten all the places around here. It's a driving distance. You can get out there.
Boy, she might be moving on to sainthood anytime soon with these enlightened words and things like that. Thanks again, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah, hopefully be back.
Hopefully. Come on.
Better be.
I mean, it better be. The audience thinks the same thing now, right? It's unbelievable. Thanks again. Folks, we will be right back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to go on our Facebook and our Instagram pages by searching The Pulse with Peter B. and like and follow us on each of those platforms. We're constantly updating those pages with previews of each week's segments and cool stories. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our email address at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. Welcome back to The Pulse with Peter B. Peter Biancamano, still in the host chair, but in a much different location, as you can see. It was so gorgeous outside, that's right, I dropped an old Hoboken term there, that we needed to leave the studio. I needed to get out of my button-down shirts, because who wants to sweat in nice clothes, right? Not that saying these clothes aren't nice, they're very nice, trust me. And we are at beautiful Maxwell Place Pier, because we have an extremely special guest with us as well, and why not have this backdrop? And that is Dr. Lazo, who is the first chiropractor to ever be on The Pulse with Peter B. Dr. Lazo, how are you today, sir?
I'm honored. I'm happy to be here.
Exactly. So you are the co-owner of Metro Wellness Center, located at 2757 John F. Kennedy Boulevard in the beautiful city of Jersey City, not too far from where I went to high school. I got a very soft spot for Jersey City in my heart, and I'm glad to see that your business is there.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. So, Dr. Lazo, what made you decide to become a chiropractor?
So, when I was a kid, I got hit by a car.
Oh, wow. I mean, goodness, I hope you're okay.
I'm amazing now.
I was going to say, you look great,
Yeah.
but I hope you weren't seriously injured when it occurred.
So, when I was a kid, I was just, coming home from skating, getting pizza, and then when I was walking down the street, I was hit on my left side from a vehicle, and I flew for about a block.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Kid, how old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
I was in 8th grade, so probably
12,
13.
Yeah. And you decided to visit a chiropractor out of a recommendation from the hospital ER doctor, or your family doctor, as they call it?
No, the lawyer from the lawsuit. But the doctor said it was a miracle that I was alive, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it must have been a serious hit.
Yeah, I remember the next day I felt like I got hit by a car.
Well, I mean, not many people can say that, and I shouldn't laugh, and be here today. But do you feel that obviously getting hit by the car made you want to get into the chiropractor world? Do you feel that the chiropractor you visited when you were 12 or 13 years old made your recovery so much smoother and the person you are today physically?
Yes, honestly, yes. I feel like he influenced me a lot, into who I am today. He put up with all the questioning I had as a child, and, it's history ever since.
It's history ever since. And, you said you flew about a block. I don't want to get into what specific injuries you had, but if you just want to let the audience know, how your chiropractor benefited the injuries you did have.
So, I remember being incredibly sore the next day. I felt like I couldn't move. I felt like I had sleep paralysis, but I was awake, so that was the thing. And
wow.
It was just I had to fight to get out of bed. I felt like my body was 10 times heavier. And once I got into the office after I think I want to say 6 months, I was back to normal. And, every step throughout that whole process was a challenge, but if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. Unbelievable.
So you literally went from your doctor telling you that you're lucky to be alive to 6 months later, after visiting his chiropractor, in great mental and physical shape.
Yeah.
Incredible. Wow. All right, let's talk about now your business. As I said, you were the co-owner of Metro Wellness Center in Jersey City on Kennedy Boulevard there, as the locals like to say. How long have you been in business, and why you decided to pick Jersey City for a location?
So we opened up September 27th of this year. So we're about open for I think 2 months and some change. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, my math is terrible.
Yeah, mine is
Doctor.
too.
Yes, 2 months and some change. Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations on making it your first 60 days. I know that's usually tough. So
it's tough, but we're getting there.
Exactly.
And I've always had a soft spot for Jersey City.
Interesting.
I used to work there part-time doing other gigs, and it just grew on me, and I was like, why not Jersey City? Why not give back to the city that helped me pay my tuition and all that? So.
Amen to that. And Jersey City is the second most populated city in the state, obviously behind Newark. And it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know if you know this, for being the most diverse city in the country.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I'm filled with useless facts here on the Pulse, folks. All right, Dr. Lazo. So now, there's some fallacies when it comes to visiting a chiropractor. I don't think you should be nervous about visiting one. I have visited one in the past. Let's first start with this. Does a chiropractor normally only work on the back and the spine?
No.
Fallacy.
That seems to be a misconception, but no. Like we work on the spine. We also work on extremities, so like the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist. The knee, ankle, hip, stuff like that. So it's not just limited to the spine.
Interesting. And what type of movements do you do in all of the joints you just mentioned in order for people to feel better, whether it's in their wrist or back, their knee, or their ankle?
So we use the traditional chiropractic adjustment.
Gotcha.
It's a mobilization of the joint, very precise, very fast. So it's what a lot of people are seeing nowadays on like TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it seems to alleviate the pain. So.
All right, Dr. Lazo. So another fallacy, because as I said, we're full of fallacies in terms of chiropractor. People have a misconception about chiropractors. Is why do you feel that there is this almost this fear about going to visit a chiropractor that people have in our society?
Well, it comes down to a multitude of reasons, but some are like misconceptions. There are many misconceptions, but there's also miscommunication between the patient and doctor in some cases. I'm not saying all, but it's not traditional medicine. It's it's gonna take a little longer, and maybe some people are just used to the get well after like a visit type doctor, and we don't provide that. Like, obviously we want to help the patient get better, but it's gonna take a little while. Like for when I was a kid, it took me like 6 months. So
exactly. But look at you now.
Yeah.
It works. And I think that's what people should know. Now, your chiropractic practice, they do accept most major insurances, correct?
Correct.
So there's not going to be that much money out of pocket.
Not really.
Exactly. So why wouldn't you go see him? Have aches and pains. I can vouch. I can't vouch for Dr. Lazo, but I'm sure. But I have a new chiropractor in mind now. Whenever I need an adjustment or something like that. That's the whole point about this segment, right? Go visit him. I am going to leave the floor to you because we have a few seconds left. If there's anything that you want to tell the audience about either your business, where you're located on social media, and where they can make an appointment or something like that, or any other misconceptions that you think are out there, please do so. You're going to look at that camera. The camera's all yours, Doctor.
So our Instagram is metro.wellness. And the website to schedule an appointment is actually on that Instagram. So it's in the bio, and come get adjusted, come feel better. It might take some time, but we'll get you where you need to be.
I like that. You'll get that. Is that your slogan? Because
No.
That should be your slogan. Exactly. All right, Dr. Lazo, this has been an honor having you on. I really, really appreciate it. Go visit him, Metro Wellness Center, 2757 John F. Kennedy Boulevard in the beautiful city of Jersey City, New Jersey. I have a new chiropractor. You should too. Thank you again.
No,
Really
thank you. It's been an
appreciate
honor.
that. Thank you. Folks, we will be right back. Peter Biancamano back with you. Don't forget to watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. Also on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m., you can watch our show on our YouTube channel, and you can also binge watch all of our old shows. Who doesn't want to keep watching The Pulse with Peter B? We'll see you there. Welcome back to The Pulse. I want to thank Dr. Lazo, who is our new resident chiropractor here on The Pulse, for enlightening us about his practice in the last segment. And a person that never enlightens us, sheds a cloud of darkness, and needs to visit a mental chiropractor, which is also a therapist, because he needs an adjustment in the brain, is the gentleman to my right, and that is our political analyst every week here on The Post, and that is Josh Sotomayor Einstein.
Well,
Josh, how are you today, sir?
If you want to talk about cloud of darkness, I think anyone that's ever stood behind you after you've eaten knows that feeling.
Oh, I am tall. Wow. Did he just say a fat joke? Well, it's comical that
I agree. My jokes are very comical
of this
and humorous.
stature is coming up with
Stature? Is that a word? Is that a word?
No, you know why I'm getting confused here, Josh? Is because
Speaking of confusion, I think that's a good segue point, because obviously the people that run our city and the Hoboken Business Alliance are just as confused as you are right now.
I was just going to say that. Speaking
Was he?
of
He
confusion,
says he was. He says he was.
So, first of all, though, before we get into the Hoboken Business Alliance, which is just a sham of an organization,
True facts.
I do want to congratulate all of the winners in our last election, all the way from Governor Murphy on his re-election, Mayor Ballard on his re-election, Councilwoman Emily Jabor and Councilman Jim Doyle on their re-elections, and Councilman-elect Joe Quintero on his election to City Council here in Hoboken. But now it's time to move on, because there are pending issues that affect the taxpayers of Hoboken coming from the Hoboken Business Alliance. Josh, what do you have in your hand?
So in my hand is a letter from the Hoboken Business Alliance and a proposed new budget that was voted on, I believe, one time at a reading of the City Council. Allegedly, the Hoboken Business Alliance has sent out this letter to all the people that get taxed by it. And from the get-go, the Hoboken Business Alliance is a dishonest organization, because they pretend that the charge that they're sending people is not a tax. It's a tax that only affects around 1,300, 1,200 properties in town. But when you have to give money to an organization, otherwise you will be in legal trouble. That's called a tax. That's not a voluntary choice that you made. So it is a tax, and
I'm
it's
going to
going
interrupt
up.
you 1 second. And it's going up, correct. But I'm going to interrupt you 1 second, because you said 12 to 1,300 people it affects in town, which the majority, or maybe half, maybe 50%, is business owners. So you're taxing business owners in order to help businesses.
Well, exactly. It makes no sense. So
Right.
all the entities that are being taxed are determined by the city to be businesses. And so we're talking about anything from the large management company or the large property company, which I shed no tears for them. I mean, wrong is wrong and right is right, but I have no sympathy for them. But I do have sympathy for the many small property owners that have anywhere from 3 to 6 or 8 units and live in the building, that have been here for decades or are born and raised Hobokenites, who aren't seeing a return on their investment, haven't seen a return on their investment for their tax dollars, and now we're getting this extra tax because they have the audacity to own their building under an LLC, which is always the smart thing to do. And so now they're getting bent over, not just by the city, but also by the Hoboken Business Alliance, which is effectively part of the city, doing things that the city used to do in the past, and cities are supposed to do, period.
Correct. And sorry to interrupt you, but the Business Alliance wouldn't be a group, I should say, unless it didn't pass through the City Council as part of the Special Improvement District tax, the SID as the abbreviated term is. So therefore, the brunt of the responsibility does need to go on 8 of the 9 city council people that voted. Councilman Michael Russo was the only one that voted against it. And now you said the fees are going up.
Yes, so the de facto taxes, because that's what it is, are going up. And you're 100% right. Everyone in City Hall, except for Councilman Russo, everyone from the mayor to everyone else on the city council, bears the moral responsibility for pretending that squeezing businesses in order to help businesses makes any sense. They should have learned how to operate within their budget and did the things that most other cities do in terms of beautification. Instead, they found essentially a scapegoat, someone that they could say, here, you do this. We're not responsible anymore. And that way they could raise the levy, raise taxes on some people and not on others, and look like they're doing anything. Because the people in City Hall will take credit when the Business Alliance does anything good. And if it does anything bad or that doesn't work, they'll be like, oh, that wasn't us.
So, and now they're trying to beautify the city with the Business Alliance, but you have the numbers right in front of you. It's a 1-page budget. Yeah, good work there, Business Alliance. You really do a lot for what you make. And every single line item on this budget, I reviewed it before, and we'll put it up on the screen for you, is showing a management fee in each of those line items. Is this just the Business Alliance putting money in their pocket?
Oh, I mean, this definitely seems like it's a slush fund, and it's definitely against, better government practices. If the Business Alliance wasn't quasi separate, not in any way that actually matters, but if it was a part of government, there'd be people crying to heaven and hell that this was essentially moral corruption. Because I'll give you an example. One of the leaders of the Business Alliance has a property that gets the special tax. He's in the special tax zone where it's the lowest, and he rents out space in his building, office space, to the Business Alliance. So he's on the Business Alliance board. He makes sure that he gets the least tax, and he gets the rent from the Business Alliance. If in any other situation, people would understand that this is unhealthy, nepotistic, and not fair to the small business owner, the small landlord, and really doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's the city's responsibility to beautify the town. Hoboken does not need a marketing strategy. Everybody knows Hoboken is a fun town to dine and eat in. If you want to have a marketing strategy, maybe the leaders of the Business Alliance should put on their big boy pants and big girl pants and stand up to City Hall and stop them from killing parking spots. Because if people want to grow businesses in town, we don't just need people from our town to eat in our eateries and spend money in our stores. We need people from outside of town. And also to the would-be autocrats on the Business Alliance, many of whom have some serious dollars. If all these things are so important to you, instead of stealing money from the little guy, in a legal way, but it's still stealing, spend your own damn money.
Amen. I mean, Josh, we don't agree on a lot on this show, but I couldn't.
I don't
agree
even
with
like you.
Exactly. Neither do I. Mutual feelings, I guess. But you hit the nail on the head. And to the businesses out there who have complained to me, because we've hammered the Business Alliance before, and now they're raising their budget by $1 million. It's going from $1.6 million to $2.6 million, and that's going to be on your back, taxpayers. Your back. I wouldn't even pay your SID anymore. Screw them. I mean, just don't do it. Send a message to them. Send a message to Councilwoman Tiffany Fisher, who is on the Business Alliance board, if I'm not mistaken, saying that the way to help out small businesses is not to tax small businesses or to tax residents who have been here predominantly their whole lives, correct?
I mean, it's really a shakedown. It's a protection racket. The mafia or the Yakuza member goes and says, I'll help you. I'll protect you from other robbers, and they charge a reasonable rate. And then the next week they take 3 times as much. The business owner would have been better if they would have, got robbed by the regular robbers as opposed to this protection racket. It's nonsense. It's garbage. And where's your sense of right and wrong?
Exactly. And what a sham after members of the Business Alliance and the City Council talk about how helping out small businesses after they suffered throughout the COVID pandemic, and now they're raising their tax. I call it a fee, but Josh is 100% right. It's a tax. It's both. Raising their taxes on these same small businesses that could have used that money because of the effects of COVID. So, Josh, thank you so much. We're not going anywhere, folks. The Business Alliance will continue to be a hot topic of conversation on this show, and I'm being dead serious to those business owners. Though one way to protest is just not to pay the SID.
Yeah, and let me just say this for both of us. I'm going out on a limb here, but Business Alliance leaders, you're always invited on here to talk about this issue. We know you're wrong, but we're willing to listen.
We're willing to listen, and we're willing to have a reasonable debate about it. I mean, we're not going to yell at you or scream at you. That's for when Josh and I are on. But anyway, Josh, thank you so much. Our political analyst every week, Josh Sotomayor Einstein. We'll see you soon, buddy.
I look forward to it.
All right, my man. Folks, join us next week for The Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancamano. I hope you have a great week, everybody.
The Pulse with Peter B. is a proud partner of Eyes on NJ.